Hi, this is John Doe, aka Frags with the DNB Academy, and welcome to another video. Today, we got another Serum 2 video, and we're gonna be focusing on making like really cool bass sounds with the minimum effort, especially using and abusing the new warping features we got on Serum 2. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Okay, so the process is gonna start off with something quite familiar to some of you, or most of you at least, when it comes to bass design on Serum 1. We're going to be using the FM from B kind of technique, but with a little bit of a different nuance in between that's going to make things change quite dramatically, okay? So first one, we're going to go into our analog basic shapes and you're going to select the sine wave. That's all we want, simple sine wave, random phase all the way down. And here on oscillator B, we're going to make things interesting in a minute, but for now we're going to keep this one to 0 and we're going to keep it as a saw wave. Just like this, random phase, 100%. Let's leave it like this. Next, the first step would be adding the so-called FM from B. So we're gonna pick up some FM frequency modulation from oscillator B in order to shape up and affect our sine wave here. So if we start, playing a note, we're gonna bring this down to -3 octaves, of course. And this one, we're gonna keep it like 2. So let's start increasing the feed here. Let's leave it around like 29%. Already, even this algorithm, this warping algorithm, seems to work a little bit different on Serum 2. It just sounds a little bit different. And now we're gonna take advantage of the fact that we can now use 2 warping algorithms on the same oscillator. And one of the coolest ones is now we have access to distortion, and we're gonna take the most out of it. Because not only can we FM from B on oscillator A, but we can now also already distort this even before sending this out to our effects, where we can distort even further. So for that, what we need to do is just select one of these. All right, gotta say that overdrive is the best one, even though it's not available here because it's a bit more advanced than these. We can always go with the tube. Tube works pretty well, and you'll see the results in a minute. So let's play like a straight up F note. Start bringing this right. Oh, we can try another one now. For instance, the hard clip. So we're distorting a little bit of our oscillator, or wavetable in this case, which is really, really nice. The sine shaper works pretty well for this as well. So yeah, that's it. Now that we got these 2 parameters nailed down, we're just gonna add a little bit of movement with an envelope to create like a stabby sort of bass here. So we're gonna assign this to the FM from B and choose the maximum up to 40%, and this one to the sine shaper almost as well, the same, like 40%-ish. Okay, so now we should see. So now let's make this slower, like 2 notes, and make a cool shape here. And let's adjust the maximum amounts in the FM and in the sine shaper. Something like this sounds pretty nice. And you see, there's not a single piece of distortion still, like at least the way we were used to on Serum 1, where we need to go to the effects to add them, and it already sounds pretty decent. Now let's use our filter, all right, and let's turn on filter 1, which is assigned to oscillator A only, and we're gonna assign our LFO 1 there as well. So this way we can take advantage of some of the new filters as well, which, not gonna lie, they're not overwhelmingly good, especially with all the cool ones that we already have here from Serum 1, like band reject, for instance. We can try something out with it, like... right, cool. So we can just bring down the random phase if we want something. See, more concise every time. But this sounds already really nice to me. So to wrap up the patch, we're just gonna go to our effects to add just a little bit more juice to it, all right? And gonna also take advantage of our buzzes to create a little bit more of a cool room to our sound without the classic sort of reverb. So first we're gonna add that extra pinch of distortion with the overdrive, because it's a really good distortion type we got there, because we can start multiple instances of overdrive now. All right, let me remove the filter for a minute. You see, it gets really aggressive. Because never forget, we already have distortion, at least on our oscillator A, so we need to be gentle with this. Nice. Let's widen things up a bit with a little bit of hyper dimension. In this case, just dimension, because we're going to bring down the hyper, we don't want it, and a tiny bit dimension. Then we're going to add a little bit of chorus. Let's bring down the depth, feedback, increase it a bit. Should be cool. Now we're gonna apply an utility just to make sure we don't get any stereo on our bass. So we're gonna over everything from 90 Hertz below. It's gonna be mono, and that's kind of what we want. Nice. Then to wrap it up, a little bit of an EQ at the end, so we can just, control some things, boost some others, especially like the mids. I'm gonna control a little bit of them here, and boost up the tops a little bit. You can actually send this to the gain. So this way just boosts everything with this movement. Okay, and now to add that little extra juice, we're gonna go to our bus and we're gonna create a convolve. And on the convolve, we're gonna add just a little bit of, we can either choose these coloration ones, which are really, really nice. But if you want to create something a little bit deeper, for this sort of bass that we're designing, I would suggest the mediums. You get like really cool one, the big drums, the gold plate. So let's get this like 50% or like 80 for now. Go to our mix and let's assign our convolve to our oscillator A, like 1. It's a bus 1. Looks really cool effect. And even if you want to turn this on, like if we turn our filter on because we had it off, just a matter of like you can create so many different basses already. Even if you just change this to, let's say, like a classic, just a notch. If we put it on the right spot. Nice, because now if we go to our effects, to our mix, sorry, we can assign our bus to the filter only. Look. Cool. Let us go to our convolve to make things just a little bit more under control. Look at this gold plate. Nice. So let's actually wrap it up with a little bit of compression at the end of our patch here. So we're gonna go with our compressor, make it multi-band, and then boost band by band. A little bit of a gain as well. Look, we got a really cool sounding deep bass that you can just, make it faster, slower. Even play a little bit harder with the distortion on the oscillator. Like. And also on the FM. Bit too much. but this could be a tune. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace!